Controlling nitrates in an aquarium like this one here is not easy because there are no plants, nothing to help you with nitrates, and it is essentially a nitrate factory. You have large fish that require a lot of food, who produce a tremendous amount of waste, and no plants consuming ammonia or nitrate. So to help with the absorption of nitrates, you can go different routes, right? You can go the chemical route. There are filter pads, there are additives that you can add to the aquarium. I don't like to do that, but I did come across an option that actually has been in use in the saltwater community for a long time. It's called algae scrubbers. Now, if you've been a long-term follower of the channel, you know that I had an algae scrubber that was doing a great job on a 100-gallon acrylic Malawi tank that I had in California. So I finally decided, encouraged partly by some comments made by the Cichlid brothers. Check out their channel, Cichlid Brothers. And it sort of re-inspired me to go ahead and fire up some of the algae scrubbers that I have on hand, but I hadn't installed in my aquariums since moving from California to Nashville. So what is an algae scrubber? An algae scrubber is a way of controlling growth, actually intentionally growing algae, using a surface like the one you see here. This is a perfect rough surface for growing algae. And oxygen, algae needs oxygen, so there's an air line on here. So you run a pump. This is on the inside of the aquarium, and it's held on with strong magnets. And you can see I have to have cardboard in between here, or else the magnets will slam together too hard. And this is called a hog, H-O-G, which is just hang-on glass. So on the outside of the aquarium, you have this. And these lights are designed and tuned to emit the perfect frequency of light that will allow or nourish algae to grow. So this goes on the inside of the aquarium. You connect an air pump to it. This goes on the outside of the aquarium, connected, of course, to an electrical outlet, and in my case with a timer that runs the lights for about 16 hours. You limit the amount of light in the very beginning as the algae starts to take hold, using a little black cloth that you just hang on the inside over the lights. So what do I accomplish with this? In the case of this tank, I mean, if you know me, if you follow my channel, I don't worry that much about nitrates. The research seems to indicate that you really have to get into some crazy levels of nitrate before they become dangerous. So I'm not doing it as much to lower the nitrates, even though that will occur. And when I heard that the Cichlid brothers were doing water changes like 3 or 4 times in 7 months, and nitrates were around 20 parts per million, I thought that was amazing. So certainly being able to not have nitrates spike, that would be a good thing. But also I want to remove nutrients from the water that is feeding and encouraging brown algae to grow on my plants. You can see here some brown algae that is growing on some of the plastic plants. This requires usually pulling the plant out and giving it a bleach soak for 24 hours, and then a good rinse, and then having it sit in some water with some water conditioner for 24 hours, and then still scrubbing it a little bit. So it takes a lot of work to clean these plastic plants. So if I can slow down some of the algae growth, that'll be a good thing. The algae also adds oxygen to the water, and you can harvest it once it actually develops. You can actually, the fish love it, all the fish love it. So it'll reduce ammonia, nitrate, and help to keep my artificial plants, which is what I have in this aquarium, because these fish are plant destroyers. So it'll help to keep these plants a bit cleaner and improve water quality and add oxygen. So it's a real win-win. Now Santa Monica Filtration has been producing algae scrubbers, not just hang on glass, but also larger units that can go inside of sumps in big saltwater tanks, things like that. I thank Santa Monica for sending these units to me. In my case, I'm using it in the sump, so you don't even see it in the aquarium. The one I had in California was hanging on the outside of the aquarium, so you could see it when the lights were on. It didn't look bad. I didn't mind it. It was kind of interesting looking, but one of the advantages of sumps is that you can keep things in the sump like heaters and things like that, and so it's out of the aquarium. So at any rate, if you want to reduce nitrates, if you can't really use plants like I can in this tank, consider an algae scrubber. It doesn't have to be Santa Monica Filtration. There are some DIY videos on the internet. These units are not cheap. They are expensive, but it's a one-time purchase. It'll probably last you forever. But you can, if you're so inclined and you feel confident about that, you can DIY them. There are some DIY algae scrubbers on the internet. Okay, so this can be a secret weapon against nitrates, and certainly adds other valuable features to an aquarium. Consider using them. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer them. I'm going to start developing algae on mine. I'll keep you updated on how it's progressing and if it's making an impact on both the brown algae and the nitrate levels in this aquarium. All right, so thank you for tuning in, my friends. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe, hit that bell, and we'll talk about this, food, filter, fish, and everything else for about an hour on Saturdays at the Cichlids and Coffee live stream every Saturday at 11 a.m. And a great group of fish keepers get together for about an hour. If you'd like to support the channel further, please be sure to become a Patreon monthly sponsor. Starts for as little as $3 a month, and it helps in more ways than you know. Thank you, my friends. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.